Have you ever tried to make something absolutely perfect and got so worried about making one tiny mistake that it wasn't fun anymore? In a cozy little kitchen that smelled of ginger and spice, a little cookie was about to learn a sweet secret about the joy of being perfectly imperfect. Crispin was a little gingerbread cookie, and he was on a very important mission. He was being decorated for the annual Winter Festival Cookie Parade. He wanted to be the most perfect, handsome, and impressive cookie on the entire platter. He watched in the reflection of a shiny silver bowl as the kind old baker, a woman with flowery hands and a warm smile, worked her magic. She gave him two bright blue eyes, a smart little nose, and three shiny red gumdrop buttons that ran in a perfect line down his chest. They were perfectly aligned. "Now for the smee," the baker said, piping a perfect, white, sugary smile onto his feet. All that was left was the final touch, a jaunty little bow tie made of licorice. The baker carefully tied it around his neck. It was perfect. Crispin looked at his reflection. He was magnificent. He was ready. But then, as the baker was gently moving him from the decorating table to the grand silver platter, he wobbled. One of his perfect, shiny, red gumdrop buttons popped off, flew through the air, and rolled under the massive kitchen stove, lost forever. Crispin gasped in horror. He looked at his reflection again. He was no longer perfect. He was a flawed, two-button cookie with an embarrassing empty spot. He was ruined. A wave of shame so powerful it made his gingerbread crumbs tremble, washed over him. He wanted to hide at the very back of the platter, where no one would see his imperfection. He watched as all the other perfect cookies, the sparkly sugar cookies and the chocolatey chip cookies, were placed at the front of the platter, admired by everyone who passed through the kitchen. He felt his sugary smile begin to droop. Just then, the baker's granddaughter, a little girl with bright, curious eyes and a cheerful giggle, came into the kitchen. "Grandma, can I have just one cookie before the parade?" she asked. "Of course, my love," the baker said. "Choose your very favorite." The little girl looked at all the cookies on the platter. Her eyes scanned the sparkly sugar cookies and the perfectly round chocolate chip cookies. Then, her eyes landed on Crispin, who was trying his best to look small and invisible at the back. She didn't see a flawed cookie. She saw a friendly one. A huge smile spread across her face. "Oh, look," she giggled, pointing a tiny finger. "This one is winking at me." Crispin was confused. He wasn't winking. He was missing a button. But from her angle, the empty spot where his third button used to be, right above his perfect smile, looked exactly like a playful, charming, winking eye. She gently picked him up. "You're my favorite," she whispered, giving him a tiny, careful hug. "You have a secret." In that moment, nestled in the little girl's warm hand, Crispin understood a profound and beautiful secret. He had been so worried about being perfect, he didn't realize that sometimes it's our little imperfections, our missing buttons, that make us special, relatable, and lovable. It was his little flaw that had made him stand out from all the other perfect cookies and connect with his new friend. He learned that being perfect is not nearly as important or as fun as being perfectly, wonderfully one of a kind. And while the little gingerbread cookie learned the joy of being perfectly imperfect, a little house on a faraway hill was learning a very different lesson about what it means to find a new home. Subscribe to Storiella so you don't miss its big adventure.